All right, take two. Welcome to the South Jersey Soccer Cast, where we discuss the Union, MLS, the U.S. national teams, and more.
I am Matt.
And I'm his father, Jim. Today, we have a recap of the conference finals, preview of the MLS Cup final, some interesting news from around the league. So let's start there. All right. The one thing we've been all waiting for and we've been seeing over and over again are the year-end awards. The last one was announced. It was not a surprise. Hany Muktar, overwhelming support for MVP. Giant margin with the media. Big margins everywhere else. The narrative all year, or at least the second half of the year, was who's it going to be, Muktar or Driussi? It was coming down to who wins the Golden Boot. Again, not a surprise here.
Yeah.
It's where the narrative was. It's where, everybody was thinking about how to make it work, and it's what happened. So,
Yeah, I mean,
nobody's surprised.
no, it wasn't that hard of a decision, honestly. I mean, Driussi had less goals, less assists. He has a lot of defensive work, but Mukhtar is the entire Nashville attack.
Yeah.
So the only thing that Driussi has going for him is that his team finished higher, but MVP is never a team award.
No, it's not a team award. You're right.
So it was a 2-horse race, but it really wasn't even a race to begin with.
Well, it was until the very
until
end.
the season ended.
Right. And it's a season-long award, so
yeah.
When the season ended, Hany Muktar had the Golden Boot. This was probably a foregone conclusion. So, that was it.
Fortunately, Blake got no love.
No, it's like, did you really expect that?
No, I'm still disappointed, though.
Oh, me too. Yes, you look at those numbers and it's like, really? For carrying the team the way he does?
Yeah.
Giving the team the energy he does when he makes big saves, keeping them in games when they make mistakes. Yeah. I'm disappointed too. But we knew that was never going to happen.
No, because the goalkeeper going up against top 2 scorers in the league, you're never going to win.
Yeah, MVP is going to go to a scorer. Unless something really extraordinary happens.
Yeah.
So.
And unfortunately, Blake's season was just very good instead of historic.
Yes, sort of. Maybe. All right.
Like
it wasn't
d'Or level historic.
Yeah, and also in order for that to happen, you need basically the attackers around the league to not stand out from each other.
Yeah.
So that didn't happen because there were some very profound standouts in the attack this year. So it wasn't going to happen. Anyway, on to what's going on in LA. There's going to be no parking at the stadium for the MLS Cup.
None.
Big, giant rivalry across the parking lot. College football. Going to draw triple the crowd, take up all the space. I saw something about buses being run, but they were going to shuttle buses from a different stadium over. It's just weird. I mean, it's LA, right? When you think of LA and how do you get around LA, you see convertibles in my head, right? It's a car city.
I guess. I mean, I would imagine there's also a lot of good public transportation in LA.
Yeah, there is.
One of the few cities I would expect it in the US anyway.
Right. Yeah. No, they do have good public transportation, but like the vibe, of the city has always had a very strong car culture.
I
There
guess.
is that. So like not having parking, it's like, oh, it's just going to be weird.
Yeah,
No,
I
people
mean,
deal with it.
it.
It'll happen. It'll be fine. I'm sure the faithful, um, will turn out for them.
I mean, if what's stopping you from going to MLS Cup is you can't park your car there, that's you probably weren't real excited to go anyway.
Right.
You know?
You're probably right. But like I said, it's gonna be a weird feel.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, all the away fans, all the Philly fans that are going to fly in are probably not going to have a car anyway, so it's not going to affect them.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's just LA just always had a car vibe in my mind, so it just seems odd. The other big news out of MLS for season-ending awards were the best 11.
Yes.
There were 4 union members named to the best 11. Blake, obviously, the best goalkeeper for the year. Glesnes, Wagner in defense, and then up in the midfield we had Gazdak.
Yeah.
So that was what most of the people from the Eastern Conference,
I believe so.
the 4 or 6.
Yeah, because there were 2 Cincinnati players.
Okay,
So I believe there were only 6 Eastern Conference players in total
right.
because there was no Montreal, no New York City, no Red Bulls, Orlando, Miami, none of them.
So I don't think any other team had more than one,
Well,
or
outside
who
of
had 2
Cincinnati.
outside of Cincinnati. Yeah,
Yeah.
none of the Western teams had more than one.
Yeah. There was a Nashville player in Muktar, uh,
Yes.
Dallas, LAFC had one. Uh, Austin had one, and yeah, I think you're right. There were only 2 teams that had more than one. Union had
Right.
4, and Union Light had 2.
Right. So that's an insane concentration. Like
Yes,
the way these awards go, there's a lot of politicking going on, I'm sure, in the background.
absolutely.
And, you want to spread it out among the fan bases and all that stuff. So there's some pressure there. Having 4 from the union is amazing.
Yes,
Like probably, 2 is a big deal if you got 2. So even doubling that's huge. So I
and
think that's says a lot about who the union are.
yeah, and really, the Union probably should have had 5. I mean, I, I don't think Walker Zimmerman was good enough to be best 11 this year. I just don't. I I mean,
Okay.
Elliott continues to get no recognition from the league.
That's a shame because he deserves it as much.
Yeah, just as much as Glesnes,
Right.
if not more.
Yeah.
And yet he gets nothing. And I understand the optics of having Glesnes not be a best 11 player, your defender of the year.
The defender of the year, yes.
Then take out Wagner and put in Elliott.
Right.
But
Because the pair of them
yeah,
are
they really make
better than they are
the
as
Union backline.
individuals.
Yeah.
Or the 3 of them, actually.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
the formation was a 3-4-3, super attack minded. All the midfielders are attacking midfielders. So it's not a functional team and whatever. I understand that. But
Yeah.
like, come on.
Yeah,
put
I know.
put in like Nwobodo from Cincinnati if you're gonna have a third Cincinnati player. Put in Chara from Portland. Put in Martinez. Any of them for a defensive midfielder. But
Yeah.
they don't score goals, they don't assist. They're not going to
Right.
get recognition.
But you have to have defenders. So you pick some
Yes.
defenders.
Yes.
And you have to have a goalkeeper.
Yeah. But
So,
only 4 of those players are in
right.
the best 11. So,
Yeah. So
So even the formation decision, they were kind of forced into having defenders be as minimal as possible.
It's a 3-7.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
I mean, again, they
Well,
also
it'd be a 7-3.
7-3,
No, 3-7.
3-3-7,
Yeah, 3-0-7, I guess.
3-0.
Yeah, because you kind of have to have 3 lines.
Either way, again, offense sells tickets. Offense makes highlight reels. Offense sells shirts.
Yeah, gets clicks.
Gets clicks. There's a reason why there's goal of the week.
Yeah,
And
it's also a reason why there's save of the week.
Yes, because some of them are incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, again, it's these types of things are publicity moves. So you're going to run the attackers out in front.
Yeah.
So it totally makes sense. I'm not totally crazy about it, but it is what it is.
Yeah. I just wish that they had a functional 11 as opposed to whatever they picked.
You get some defensive midfielders in there.
Yeah. Some people who will actually defend as opposed to just having 3 of them.
Yeah.
That'll just never work.
Yes.
Well, I mean, I guess with Blake in goal, you're probably not going to concede that many no matter what. So I could see the argument.
You can see the
Yeah.
Anyway, it's fine. It is what it is. Again, I'm still surprised that they let 4 from any one team.
Yeah, I mean,
I look at it as
it's undeserved.
No, but I look at it as like all-star selections, right? You want to spread those out.
I mean, sure, but also if no team or if no one else is deserving, it would feel weird not having the finalists for Defender of the Year not there.
Right.
They left out one, and that was Alexander Callens from New York City.
Right.
He probably should have been in there for Zimmerman, but I understand why they picked Zimmerman.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't agree with the reasoning, but I understand why they did.
Yes. Again, PR stuff.
Yeah. But it's still an important selection.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure that some of these players have best 11 bonuses built into their contracts. So when they're selected, that's a big deal.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like an all-pro selection. It should be serious.
Yes, I agree. I think probably most of them have sort of these kind of incentives.
Yeah.
Of some sort.
Best 11.
Best 11.
All-star game incentive. All sorts of stuff like that. Team of the week even.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if most contracts didn't have that sort of thing.
Yeah. So it matters. It's not just publicity and PR.
Yeah, but there's a publicity thread through it.
Yeah. But it should be taken more seriously than it is.
Maybe not so much team of the week.
Yeah, maybe not team of the week, but the best 11 and the all-star selections should be.
Oh, yeah. All right. Speaking of PR,
yes,
Earnst Tanner got some good PR.
Yes,
this week. Had an interesting story published on MLSsoccer.com. It what opens up with some of his background and how he got hired for the union and how that kind of went around in circles before they picked him up. So that was a neat story, and just some things about how he is as a person. Talked about him wearing his earbuds on while skiing, making deals and stuff like that while he was basically on vacation. So it shows how dedicated he is.
Yeah.
It also dove into his philosophy and what he's doing and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I know you found that part much more interesting.
Yeah, there were some pretty cool insights. Like the part where he says that making those big signings aren't his thing. He doesn't want to spend the 15-20 million dollars on a player. He wants to find these deals for
Right.
cheap just because he prefers that. He thinks
Yeah,
they're better. So, and
yeah, he
that fits.
definitely likes finding the underappreciated players.
Yeah. I mean, he's done that in Wagner, in Gazdag, in Martinez, in Glesnes. It's how he's choosing to build the union. And
Right. And
it's working.
it's working.
It's working really well.
Second lowest guaranteed payroll in that
Yep.
report.
About a third of LAFC's.
Yes.
So that's a lot.
Maybe. And getting a lot of value
Yes.
for for the team,
Yeah.
which is great. Right? It's one thing to have a lot of money and be able to spend a lot of money, but if you're not financially sound because you're spending too much, how long is that going to last?
And also, if you have a lot of money and spend a lot of money, but don't get the right value for your money, that's not good.
Are you thinking about a particular Canadian team there?
A few teams, actually. I mean, Toronto is one of them,
Yes.
the Galaxy for another, and LAFC.
No,
It's,
LAFC's getting results.
yeah, they
You can't.
should be destroying the league with these signings. They
Yes.
shouldn't be winning the Shield against the Union on a tiebreaker,
Right. Yeah.
you know? And obviously, I'm not going to commentate on MLS Cup because that hasn't been played yet.
Right.
But they should be beating everyone 3-0, 4-0 that isn't spending as much as them, you know?
Yeah. I mean, well,
I mean, they have proven Champions League winners in Bale and Chiellini, but they still lost 4-1 to Austin in the regular season.
yes, they did.
So it's I'm not entirely sure if the value for that money is there for them.
Yeah. Well, yes and no. What are they defining as value?
Yeah, I guess. Because if you're trying to break into the domestic LA market, which is a really hard thing to do, you see it with both NFL teams. You're seeing it with the NBA teams when they don't win. You see
Right.
it with the Galaxy, and LAFC's been winning, and that's good. But what happens when they stop winning? Will that fan base still be there?
Yeah.
So when LAFC is signing these big names like Bale and Chiellini, maybe they're just trying to build that hardcore fan base up.
Maybe.
And I could totally see that being valuable to them. It's just on the field performances might not be as valuable, or they might not be getting the results that they should be for how much they're paying these guys
Yeah.
and for who these guys are. Because Chiellini won the Euros about a year ago.
Yes. But isn't Chiellini like one of those retirement plan MLS players?
I mean,
He's
sure.
he's a he's a veteran, probably looking at how much time he has left to be able to play and be a starter in Europe,
I,
and it's not as long as he would like. So he had a chance
sure,
to
but
come be a star here. Why
but
not?
sure. But again, it's not like the year between the Euros and now has made Chiellini fall off that much.
Right.
He was a star in that Italy defense. He kept England quiet, who you could argue it was more down to tactics, but Italy defensively was incredible and has been when Chiellini's played. So I don't think I would love to think that MLS is a good enough league that Chiellini's talent is not head and shoulders above everyone else, but I that's not realistic.
Yeah. I just I think the league is at a point where they're becoming less of that retirement league and more of a you come here to play.
Yeah, and develop.
And well, not just develop. You come here because it's a good league.
Yeah,
I mean,
and that's kind of what Earnst Tanner was saying.
it's not top tier in Europe, but it's not a place where you are just looking to get out. You can play and play meaningful soccer in a league that will test you and will help you develop. And if you manage to, the Europeans are going to come looking when they need people. But it's not just that's all it's for.
Yeah.
You know, like you can have a career. So I think that's good.
Yes.
So, all right, are we ready for match recaps?
Uh,
Are you ready?
yeah, sure.
All right. The first match was over in LA at like 12:30 in the afternoon or something. It was the early game, which baffled me that that's how they scheduled it, but it's what they did. I basically thought Austin got outplayed. They didn't. They didn't seem like a team that should be fighting for the Western Conference championship. There,
They didn't show up.
I don't know about not show. Well, maybe they.
They didn't.
I know they didn't show up, but I mean, was that down to they're just not good enough, or did they just have a bad day, or was LA just that much up in the money that they've been spending that we were just talking about, kind of finally bearing some fruit here.
If it really was LAFC's quality, they would have put more than 3 past them. Honestly, they would have.
Yeah, you're right. They did not look good.
Yeah. But Austin probably just had a bad day. I mean, they're still a very good team. They made the conference final for a reason. They beat 2 other teams in the playoffs, had the second seed, were fighting for the shield. Austin are a good team.
Yeah.
They just, for whatever reason, didn't show up that day. And it cost them hard.
Yeah, that's.
I mean,
That's
what?
bad.
Austin looked okay for 10, 15 minutes.
I didn't get that feel.
Yeah.
I thought they were going through the motion for those 10, 15 minutes, and it was just okay, and
Yeah.
LA was just getting warmed up.
Outside of the tiny span of time that Austin looked even passable, it was LAFC's game.
Yeah.
It almost felt like LAFC were playing against 0 men.
I wouldn't
They're
say
just,
0, but it was definitely like they were playing against maybe 9.
I mean, they were defending easily. They were attacking easily. They were passing the ball however they wanted.
Right.
It really didn't matter.
They looked like they belonged in a different league.
Yeah.
They were in 2 different leagues. It was disappointing.
Yeah. For all the hype that was built up.
Yeah. So, but it is what it is. LA won 3-0, and it wasn't that close.
Yeah.
I mean,
But I mean,
3-0 is a big margin.
Yes.
And it wasn't that close.
No. Scoreline is flattering for Austin.
Yes.
Yeah. But honestly have to credit LAFC for absolutely controlling the game as they did. I mean, it's one thing when a team plays badly, but the other team has to capitalize, and LAFC did.
Yeah, they played well. Austin did not.
Yeah,
Austin didn't play up to their potential. LA did, and it was very lopsided, I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Then in the evening, NYCFC came down to Chester, Pennsylvania, and Philly, and I saw a post by a New York fan that complained that the Union don't play actually in Philadelphia; they play in Chester. And I thought for a moment about responding, saying, "Hey, at least we have a stadium.
At least we have a home.
At least we have a home.
Yeah.
We're not a." Yes. Anyway, that was that was the night game. It started what 8:30 something.
Something like that.
It was supposed to start at 8, but then started at 8:30 because traffic.
Yeah.
Yeah, East Coast traffic anywhere between Boston and DC can be bad, and apparently, the New York bus didn't give them enough time to get to the stadium in time. So what did you think of the game? We were there.
Yes.
Um,
Thought the game was nervy. The Union were kind of pensive for the first like 60 minutes. They felt nervous. They didn't look coordinated, especially in attack.
right.
They looked off like Austin, but so did New York City. So it wasn't a game like LAFC Austin where one team just has a bad day and the other team has a good day. They were both kind of playing not great.
Yeah, I got a feeling they were both playing to not lose,
Yeah.
which is a great way to lose
Yes.
because you're not being aggressive when you should. You're
And
being too conservative.
both teams were like that, at least in
Yes.
the first half.
Yeah.
Then started the second half, New York City looked more lively. They started to come into the game more, started to attack more, started to control possession a little bit more, and eventually they got the goal.
Then they almost got a second.
Yes.
That would
Very quickly after.
Yeah.
And
Well, after the goal that New York City scored, the fans in the stands were doing everything they could to will the Union to respond.
yes.
And they almost didn't. And Andre Blake had to pull off a heroic save. And at that point, it was time for Corey Burke to come on the field. He came on. And then it was over very quickly.
Yeah.
Union scored very, very close to 2 goals, and there was a slight pause, and then the third one, and it was other than like that 8-minute window. The fans and myself really felt like it was a game that the Union were going to win.
Yes.
Those 8 minutes were awful.
It was, oh no, it's happening again.
Yes. Every person that has any fibers of Negadelphia in them was distraught.
The game was over. Done. Union aren't coming back. Game's already lost.
I don't think I felt that way, but I was like, oh no. They're not going to get it done.
I definitely felt a little bit of that.
Yeah. And then New York had a great attack again. Blake saved it. Saved that one. Very much did Andre Blake things to keep the ball out. And between the crowd and that save, the Union basically said, no, we are not going to let you win.
They pretty much woke up.
Yeah.
And started to play so much better.
Yes. That first one kind of started the bear waking up, but then like you poke it again.
Yeah, and that save from Andre Blake really woke them up.
Yeah. And they went forward, like Glesnes started going forward and contributing to the attack from, I mean, he didn't cross over into the attacking half with the ball like he does every once in a while.
I mean, he got
But,
the assist on the first goal.
well, yeah, that was because he and Carranza were the only two paying attention on the field.
Yeah. I mean, smart set piece play. Carranza saw that he can cause some chaos. Glesnes recognized the run and said, he's going to be open.
Yes.
Passed him the ball, and Carranza shot, scored. Union back in it.
And New York were trying to adjust their formation or something off of after a substitution.
They were making a substitution on the set piece.
Yes.
And basically, guy came on, started reorganizing how they're going to look in possession or in defense after the set piece was going to be done. But that's the only time where all your teammates are together. So that's when you relay instructions. So
yes.
like everyone's processing them. Then the set piece is taken, and now people are scrambling.
I think they were still trying to get that information out.
They might.
It was pretty close.
Yeah.
But, clock's running. The substitution's done. Your new player's on the field.
And in position.
So let's do this. Let's play. Yeah. And then the second goal was what? A couple minutes later? It wasn't that much longer? 2 minutes?
2 minutes later.
2 minutes later?
If that.
I thought it was 2 minutes and 1 second. I heard somewhere.
Yeah.
I didn't do the timing. It was like 2 minutes.
Real short, yeah.
Yes. Which is amazing. Like many teams don't score that fast unless the opposing team is falling apart.
And I think that first goal that New York City conceded, they were still adjusting defensively because I believe the instructions were to sit back and hold the lead for the last 30 minutes, which totally works for a conference final game because you don't want to attack more and be out of position and overextend your lines, and now you're facing a real dangerous counterattack. So those instructions that Keaton Parks was relaying to the rest of the team were real defensive. Then they conceded, and now those instructions have to go away because that doesn't work anymore, because now you're playing at least 60 minutes or at most 60 minutes.
Right.
Because you're tied.
Yes.
So whatever Keaton Parks was saying to the team had to be scrapped. So now the team really didn't know how to organize themselves defensively again.
Yeah.
And
so
they were caught out. Gazdag and Carranza linked up. Gazdag had a fantastic play on Carranza had the fantastic play on the pass to Gazdag, who was
who open. Got the ball on a fantastic pass from McGlynn.
Yes.
So that was, to be honest, I thought Carranza was going to shoot.
Me too. And the entire New York City defense did too.
Most strikers in the league would have shot that, would have put the ball on the net.
Not Union strikers.
Good ball into the box from McGlynn. Everybody is collapsing on Carranza, who just put the ball down for Gazdag to score. Yeah. And that was it. Like, in the stands, when Carranza scores, I feel like, yes, we have a chance now.
Yeah.
Like, we've not blown it. When Gazdag scored, I felt like it's over.
Yeah.
They're done.
Yes. New York City's toast.
This broke New York City. Yeah. Then again, it was 2 minutes. So
it was.
Pulling out those quick scores, yeah. That was it.
Also, There was a lot more game to be played. You're only up 1 goal. Then Corey Burke's goal happened.
And that was all Corey Burke.
Yeah. And a lucky deflection, to be honest.
Yes. But I mean, he made that happen.
Yes.
He was like, this is my job. I come in and I run and I run and I run and I press and when I get the ball, I go that way, right at the center of the goal. And I will shoot and I will score. And he had a shot before he actually scored.
Yes. That almost went in.
That almost went in. True. That would have been an amazing goal also if it had gone in. Because that was from good distance through a crowd.
Yeah,
but
Corey Burke, when he was subbed on, he just bullied New York City's back line.
Yeah.
All sorts of trouble.
That's what he does.
That's what he does, and he's real good at it.
He's really good at being that 60-minute sub. Now that your back line is starting to tire out,
yeah,
I will come in and outrun them. I won't say bully, but
he bullied people. I mean, when he won the ball, he just out-muscled the guy.
Yeah, okay. I will outrun, out-muscle, out-hustle, and by hustle, I mean, keeping your mind focused in the game, reacting quickly, not necessarily running faster.
Yes.
Which he outruns them anyway.
Yeah.
At that point.
So he just reacts faster. He'll push people over because he's just stronger, has more endurance. He will stay focused for longer because remember earlier in the season, shot came into the box, keeper parried it away. Corey Burke was the first one there because he recognized that and reacted first and scored.
Yes. Yeah, he's not just fresh legs, but a fresh mind as well. Yeah. That really, it's really brought him to a different role that he really excels at, I think.
And it'll keep the opposing back line honest. They have to sit a little further back because they know that Corey Burke will burn them if he gets the ball. So they can't press forward and look for a late equalizer. They have to sit further back because Corey Burke's in the game. He wins the ball. He's scoring.
Yeah. Or he's at least going to go test your keeper.
Yeah.
And your keeper's not as good as Andre Blake.
No.
And eventually that will yield results.
Yeah.
So I had a blast. It was a lot of fun.
Yes. Lots of fun.
It was ridiculously loud. I can't imagine if the MLS Cup final was being held there. It would be even crazier. I don't know how. Probably would have knocked the bridge over with the sound or something from the just under 20,000 fans. Because it was ridiculously loud.
And you could feel the ground shake when the second goal was scored.
Oh, yeah.
Man.
That was, well, everybody in the entire stadium collectively jumped up and cheered.
Yes.
Except for the
New York City fans.
But, yeah, it was crazy. It was a lot of fun. Don't get me wrong. I really enjoyed it. I can't imagine how Citizens Bank Park has been lately.
Yeah.
Because it's just a much bigger crowd who is probably just as vocal and just as crazy for the team. So it's been fun. It's been fun. I am looking forward to the game on Saturday.
So,
do we want to do the preview now, or you got more to say about the?
No, let's jump right into the preview. That's a good transition.
All right. So LAFC is hosting the Philadelphia Union for the MLS Cup final. We already talked about the parking. It's going to be a very hostile environment for the Union. They will bring out a very big vocal crowd, as they should. I think home field is big, and it's big for LAFC for a reason right now.
Yeah,
They have a lot of people. They're very into it.
It's large capacity stadium, very passionate fans.
Yeah.
Gonna be chanting, singing, yelling all 90 minutes. It's gonna be a hostile environment for the Union.
Yes. And it is a very big ask for them to go there. It's going to be. I'm looking at like the odds and who's saying who's going to win. A lot of people are picking LAFC to win, and I don't blame them. Like, objectively, I think that's the right way to go. I just don't want it to end that way, but it's going to be tough.
MLS Cup, yes.
Yeah, it's one game. It's in LA. They've played in LA once before this year. Finished in a 2-2 draw. I believe the Union were still in their run of we keep blowing leads and ending up in draws.
Well, that was the beginning of that.
Yeah.
That was like the first draw of that run. So they weren't in that run. They were
They were at the beginning of that run.
Yes.
That's still in the run.
Kinda, but
not
going into the game.
Right, going into the game, they had not fallen into that yet.
Yeah.
But that was the game. That was the first of the games where they started giving up the lead a lot.
And it's not like that was a bad game draw.
No, that was a good result, even though it was a draw. Yeah. I mean that should tell LA, because they should have even more home field advantage for this game coming up, that they can win. That they know that they can win there.
And
they didn't lose. Well, yes, that's true. The Union should know that they can win there too. They can go in and score.
They're playing much better.
Yes. I think it's going to come down to, will the Union get aggressive, and when, and if they time it right, I think they can come home with the cup.
I think if the Union are smart and are aggressive when they need to be.
Yeah. Like, they get the timing right.
And don't just sit back and play to not lose. I think the Union win.
Yeah.
I think it'll come down to who's going to be a better keeper at stopping the ball from getting in the back of the net. And it's Blake.
Yes.
9 out of 10 times it's Blake.
Yeah. I think it'll be a grind. I think it'll be probably pretty high scoring. I don't think Blake's keeping a clean sheet here.
I don't think he's keeping a clean sheet, but I wouldn't say it's going to be high scoring.
What do you think? Like a 2-1? Or
you more 2-1, 1-0, I think.
Okay.
Maybe even 2-0.
I'm coming down to both sides scoring. It goes back and forth. I'm coming down on 3-2.
I don't think, because both defenses are great, both offenses are great.
All right, you've convinced me. It's going to be a draw. It's going to go to PKs at the end.
There you go.
And who knows what's going to happen? Right.
There you go.
So who knows? It should be a lot of fun to watch. I'm hoping it's a good game. It'll be a lot of fun to watch unless the Union are getting crushed.
Yes, hopefully.
Unless that happens, it'll be fun to watch. If you're an LA fan, it's going to be fun to watch, unless LA's getting crushed, because that's what it's going to come down to.
If you're a fan of the league, it's going to be fun to watch.
Yes,
you got the 2 number 1 seeds, both play very differently. How the rosters are constructed are philosophically different.
Yes,
I mean,
Payrolls are there's a giant gulf between the two
yes.
of them. Um, the the philosophy, how to get the players that you need, philosophy, right?
And new coach in LAFC versus the second longest tenured coach in MLS and Jim Curtin. It,
Yes,
there's just they're completely different.
yes. It will be interesting. I think if you're a soccer fan, this would be a fun game if you can
Yes,
find it.
should be.
Yeah,
Although it's going to be a cup final, the teams are probably going to play more defensively than they normally would. So it might not be free flowing like how the earlier knockout rounds were, but it still should be a good game.
yeah. I think the Union play better when they have that spark of aggression, some controlled aggression going in.
Yes.
And I think they need to break that out at the right time.
And honestly, that kind of starts with Martinez.
Yeah,
If he can be aggressive defensively, smart about it, and not draw yellow cards, and not dive in recklessly, and not just turn the ball over in possession, I think the Union will win that game.
yeah. I'm looking forward to like Glesnes pushing the ball up from the back to at least the halfway line.
Yeah,
You
probably
know,
past that.
probably past that. He usually does, but he doesn't go much past the circle
No.
when he does. If he starts doing that a couple times, that's that controlled aggression,
Yes.
right? I mean, it's one of the signs of that the controlled aggression is happening. You know, um, you know, someone like Ua making a run and launching someone just launches the ball towards him, right, in the space so he can run and go get it because he can, he's got to outrun a defender at that or two. It's finding those moments when that's the right thing to do. I think is going to be key for the Union if they want to win.
Yes.
I'm not Jim Curtin. I don't know what the plan is.
I don't
I
get
don't.
paid enough to figure out what the plan is. So
um, do you think Ale Bedoya is going to play?
play, yes. Start, maybe.
I think if he's going to play, he's going to start.
It might be like the conference final where he only plays 45 minutes.
I think that should be the plan.
Yeah.
Like, let's go 45 minutes and see. Unless it's obvious that he can't,
Yes.
right? Like, if he can go for the first half, again, in against NYCFC, he played and was good for about half hour. Then he re-aggravated his injury,
Yeah.
which was bad. I think if that doesn't happen, he probably goes 60 minutes.
Maybe. I don't
Maybe.
know.
I don't know. Like, he might have come out at the halftime anyway.
Yeah. He looked pretty hurt in the first
Yeah.
half.
Yeah. But before he re-injured himself, he aggravated his injury. He looked fine.
Yeah.
But then again, maybe he didn't have. Yeah.
Yeah,
I would like to see him back out there and start because I think that really helps McGlynn.
Yes.
That McGlynn doesn't come in until halftime or
I,
60-minute mark.
I really like McGlynn as a substitute, not as a starter.
Yes.
The way he's been playing this season, he's looked much better subbing on in the game as opposed to starting the game. And the Union as a whole looked better when McGlynn was subbed on and didn't start.
Right. I think he can learn. I mean,
Absolutely, he can learn.
He's still much young. He's still very young.
Yeah,
Like,
but it doesn't matter that he can learn or not for the cup final. It's what
right.
he can do on Saturday.
Yes, and he needs to be a sub.
Yeah.
I agree. Absolutely. Just like, yes, everybody's saying Corey Burke should be, anybody that's saying Corey Burke should start, they're wrong. He needs to be a sub.
Yes,
Because that's where he's excelling right now.
And it's what he does best.
It's what he's doing best right now.
Yeah.
And that's what you need. So, yeah, it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it.
Me too.
They're having watch parties all across the area. Some of them are hosted by the team. The Sons of Ben are also hosting them. So we have to decide whether or not we're going to go to one or if we're going to watch here.
Or any one of them. Don't know yet.
Or just go to a local bar.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yep.
So that's what's been going on. Anything else you're looking forward to this weekend?
Not this weekend.
Not this weekend. All right. Then I think we are done.
Well, one last thing.
All right, what
prediction.
you got? Score prediction.
Yes.
All right, told you.
Definite score prediction. You changed your mind.
I did change my mind.
So what is it now?
2-2 going to PKs at the very end.
Who wins?
The Union, because I think Blake will be better in the PK shootout.
Okay.
Yes, that's the dog.
I have a 2-1 Union win.
Okay.
After extra time.
2-1 in extra time?
Yes.
So you're talking 1-1 draw at 90 minutes plus stoppage.
Union score again in extra time.
All right. That will be a lot of fun.
Yes.
That would be a lot of fun. I'm actually thinking it'll be 2-2 after 90. And then extra time will be scoreless.
Yeah. I could see that.
Yeah. Because everybody's going to be tired.
Yeah.
They'll have sold out to win in the 90. And people will be a little slow.
Well, that's why I think the kids will win it. All that extra energy from them.
Okay.
Is a 30-year-old player, starter, who just played 90 minutes and now has to play 30 is going to be so much worse off than one of the academy kids who was subbed on 5-10 minutes before full time and has only played 5 or 10 minutes and now gets to play 30 minutes.
And it's all hyped up because, this is it. They're playing in the biggest game of the year.
Yes.
And they're 19 years old or 18 years old or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And they're just going for it. Yeah. You're not worried about LA's bench?
I mean, I don't think there's anything about LA that I'm not worried about going into the cup final.
Okay.
But just from pure physicality and outrunning people, I think that the Union will.
All right. So you're banking on the kids. Yeah. And just them being Energizer bunnies out there.
Yes.
And until LA breaks, huh? Okay. Sounds good. I just think it'll be if it goes to extra time, it'll be a grind. I don't think anybody's going to score in extra time because people will be playing even more so to not lose.
Yeah, but I think the kids will be out there wanting to show that, no, we can do this.
Well, yes, that's true.
Yeah. The kids are going to be extra motivated to win.
Yeah, you're right. I hope it works out that way.
Me too.
Well, actually, I hope they win in the 90. But
well, yeah.
I hope they win before the end of stoppage time at 90 minutes. All right.
That's all I got.
All right, that's all I got too. Thanks for watching and listening to the South Jersey Soccercast. If you are on YouTube, please leave some comments to let us know how we are doing. Then like and subscribe to get notified when we upload next week's episode.